What up, y'all, and welcome to Talladega Super Speedway for the 11th race in the 2023 NRSL Digital Storm Cup Series. On pole for the third time in his career is Rob Evans, two-time winner at this racetrack back in 2019 and in the 2020 spring race. He's got Scott Roush to his outside. Row 2, you see Ace Rogers and Jessica Shelton. Row 3, Dennis Moore and Lane Sanders. Row 4 is Alex Ferranti and Laura Chung. And in row 5 is Skylar Taylor and Alexander Rowe. So go through the rest of the starting lineup. One thing you're going to notice is the absence of the number 10 car following some controversy on social media. Allison Liera has been removed from the series. And as you can see, Zachary Fitzwater Sr. back in his Foster's Chevrolet from last year. And as you saw in the front row, Rob Evans back in his number 65 Chevrolet from a couple of years ago. So those two are driving independently now as Chevrolets. Kate Anderson still in the Toyota, but she is also independent as well. So Evans Gardner Motorsports has been disbanded, and Allison Liera has been removed from the series. Her statistics will stand in the history books, but have a major tarnish on them, to say the least. Enough of that nonsense. We're racing from Talladega. Now, Go Home qualifying had been run already when news of the controversy broke, so all they really did was remove the 10 from the entry list and allow Colt Hudson, who was 13th in Go Home, to make the race. Moving forward with where Liera sat in the point standings, we will just be taking whoever is 31st in the points until they have dropped out of the top 30. Side by side, the complete lap one is Alex Ferranti and Ace Rogers. Ferranti still looking for that elusive first career win in the Digital Storm Cup Series. Could today be the day? Last year's winner was a Hendrick Motorsports car. That was Nate Rogers. In total, Chevrolet has 7 wins here at Talladega in the Cup Series out of, I think it's 9 or 10 total races. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 10th race in series history here at Talladega. So out of 9 races, Chevy has won 7 of them. Dodge has a win, and Ford has a win. In fact, this 48 car did win here at Talladega way back in the 2017 fall race. That race was won by John Arndt. He won it on fuel strategy. He was the only car to make it, which is pretty crazy. Who would have thought you would have had fuel strategy at a track like Talladega? Other past winners in the field include Zach Flickinger, Cole Deaver, and Jesse Turner, along with the aforementioned Rob Evans and Nate Rogers. So it looks like we had a bit of a stack up back here, a bit of a gap just got formed from the top 4 to the rest of the field. Not sure what caused that off of turn 4, but we are still clean and green as Alex Ferranti is going to take the top spot here on the 4th lap of the race. We've got a couple of 4-wide situations going on here on the track. Ooh, Logan Williams and Kate Anderson about wrecked it. They're still 4-wide in 3 different areas. Williams and Sanford rubbing doors. Turner and Owen Miles rubbing doors. Lane Sanders, Jessica Shelton are rubbing doors. Ooh, and that's going to be a crash. Waters is around. It's the big one. Here off of turn 4, hard into the inside wall is Jesse Turner. Upside down is one car. Who is that? That is Andrew Rich, I believe. No, that's Jesse Turner. And Turner going to come to rest upside down on his roof. Oh, and Kate Anderson hits some insult to injury. Actually, Turner's going to get back going. His car is still functioning. That's incredible. If he had hit the grass, he would have barrel rolled like mad. Dylan Young, RJ Bishop are destroyed. Corey Riggs is destroyed. Huge, huge crash here at Talladega. And the pace car speeds up to pick everyone up. Are we going to have any stack ups? It looks like that answer will be no. Oh, our points leader, Cement Oskin's got heavy damage. Keith Rich is involved. William Brock, man, this was the huge one. Skylar Taylor. I mean, this was the huge one at Talladega. So pit road is open. We're going to take a look at the race replay. Taking a look at our first caution of the race. This is going to start with Richard Johnson pinching down on Steven Waters, and they're in the middle of a 4-wide with Corey Riggs and Jesse Turner. And I mean, Riggs pinched down on Johnson as well, and that just causes Johnson to turn Waters up the track, clipping Corey Raymond. Riggs and Turner nowhere to go. And you see Johnson swung down into Kate Anderson. That spun him down the track. Then Rob Evans gets into Cement Oskin and Logan Williams. And it's pretty much on from here. We saw this portion of the crash live. You see Turner get flipped over. So then let's go up here, up the road to Dylan Young. Dylan Young gets in the Rob Evans. Brock gets in the Rob Evans. And then RJ Bishop gets in the Young and actually flips RJ Bishop over. And Bishop upside down gets nailed by Skylar Taylor, tearing the left front fender off the 84. You see William Brock up in the air as well. And Steven Waters trying to go down the track to miss this. Tries to turn back right. Nails Dylan Young. And then up ahead, RJ Bishop comes down the embankment, kicks in, starts flipping his car over. And RJ does an old barrel roll in the trioval grass here at Talladega. Logan Williams gets clipped by Corey Riggs after the crash. And it was calamity here on lap number 5. Let's take some onboards. On board with Rob Evans. And his car was destroyed. On board with Cement Oskin. And a good bit of damage for the 2020 champ. We'll have to see if he continues. On board with Jonathan Zorlin. See Zorlin make contact with Rob Evans, and that appears to be the extent of Zorlin's involvement in the accident. Lastly, on board with RJ Bishop. A wild ride for our Daytona 500 winner. His day at Talladega is over. Getting ready to go back racing, man. What a huge crash with multiple layers to it. Out of the race is going to be Dylan Young and RJ Bishop, who still are getting towed back to pit road. Rob Evans, the pole sitter, man. Not a good race back to Chevrolet. Jesse Turner, Kate Anderson, Corey Riggs, Steven Waters, Logan Williams, Richard Johnson, who had hit the inside wall and mistakenly said Turner in the live call. William Brock, Skylar Taylor, Jessica Shelton, Cement Oskin, your points leader coming into this one, and Keith Rich. We have 28 cars left on the track, and Quinton Moore is the leader. So this opens the door for Nate Rogers, who came in 37 back, Kev Shearer 52 back, Sorlin 69 back to really gain points. Dylan Young came in 70 back of Oskin. He's going to lose about 10 points to Oskin, but he is also going to be going down as a DNF. Nate Rogers is up in second. Nareza third. Deaver fourth. Ace Rogers fifth. Green flag is back out. And we're going to find out who might not have enough pace to stay in the race. Quentin Moore is going to be absolutely left here down the back straightaway. And that gives Nate Rogers a huge head of steam down into turn 3. Ace Rogers going to go up to the outside, but no momentum right now for Quentin Moore. So now the Reza and Dennis Moore pull out. Those are teammates for Front Row Motorsports. Ricky Freeman Jr. up here. Right now, it looks like Jonathan Zorlin might be the one car with too much damage to stay in touch with the pack. Also seeing Corey Raymond looking like he might lose touch. So huge opportunity for Nate Rogers and some other drivers that I mentioned inside the top 5 in points. Looking like mainly Nate and Kev. Charles Sanford also 6th in the points, 84 points back coming into this thing. It was Keith Rich 7th, Redacted in 8th, Seth Cole 9th, and Turner 10th. So Seth Cole also maybe potentially with a chance to gain points. He's currently at the back of the pack. They're going to go 4 wide for the lead here with Zach Flickinger and Kev Shear. Not a smart idea here. Still a ton of cars in the race. Kev Shear was just about clear there. They're still 4 wide. Oh, they're pinching again. We have not had a turn 4 crash off the corner at Talladega in I think forever on this channel. So that was quite the sight to see. They're still 4 wide. Oh, Deaver. Oh, Hamill. There are not many cars. We're already down 16 cars. And they are about to wreck again. Nareza and Freeman, they can't get off of each other. That's 3 times they about wrecked down the back straightaway. Freeman gets clear. Deaver's trying to get clear as well. And, oh, they're going to force a 5 wide. That's not going to work. Hamill backs out of it. Moore gets the clear down to the bottom. And a brief 5 wide moment. Returns to calmness for a minute as Colt Hudson is your race leader. Jonathan Zorlin's on pit road was just about to check how the pace of the 5 was doing and heard the engine expired on his GoDaddy Chevrolet. That is going to take him out of the running of the race, and he's going to finish in 28th. We've got another 4 wide moment in the pack. This just happened on commercial break. Quentin Moore gets hooked by Zachary Fitzwater Sr. Diego Yepes upside down, and Quentin Moore begins barrel rolling wildly down the tri-oval. Whipping wildly through the air back up onto the racetrack. And a vicious crash here at Talladega. And Diego Yepes also upside down some more, and Charles Sanford gets into him. And we have lost the field. Half the field is gone. 2 turn 4 crashes in the same race. How about that? We are going to have about nobody left in this thing now. Cole Deaver's on the apron. He looks like he's done. Ryan Brommer looks done. Kev Shearer's done. Charles Sanford, Diego Yepes, Quinton Moore obliterated. We really do not have anyone left on the track that is clean. This is going to get interesting. Let's take another look at the replay. Very similar to the first accident, the second big one started with a 4-wide issue here in turn 4 with Fitzwater, Quinton Moore, Nareza, and Yepes. And Fitzwater might have got a little arrow tight from Ace Rogers on his inside, but it sends them all up the track, man. Ryan Brommer, Kev Shearer, nowhere to go. Deaver gets sent into this, and that's what starts flipping over Quinton Moore. Yepes was already upside down and on his roof. And then the ride Quinton Moore went for was a wild one. Try to count the barrel rolls if you can. But just when it looked like it was going to slow down, Moore's car gets into the grass and it just accelerates the barrel rolling from there. And he is flipping wildly up and over end over end. Starts going back up the track. Fitzwater almost hits him. And then Moore's car comes to rest on its side. Now up ahead, Yepes is sliding down the banking on his roof. Car's going to get into the grass. Come to a stop, about flip the car over end, and actually lands on Charles Sanford's roof, killing the 03 car. So the second big one here at Talladega has us under our second caution of the race. On board with Fitzwater. Oh man, he had a barreling car about come up the track and hit him, and then he saw another one sliding down the track in front of him on its roof. One thing's for sure, Fitzy does not like super speedways still. On board with Charles Sanford. Bit of a kiss there. On the brakes, on the brakes. Oh, no kiss there. Just kind of hit the gas there and plowed through the 20. He's in the grass. Looking pretty good to continue. 18's coming down the track. I think he's got it cleared, and then the grass stops the 18 and kills the 03 car. On board with Diego Yepes. Actually slid up the track and hit the outside wall. Last on board is with Quinton Moore. If you have motion sickness or something, do not watch this. Quinton's day is definitely over. Getting ready to go back, racing out of the race. Quinton Moore, Diego Yepes, Charles Sanford, Kev Shearer, Ryan Brommer, and Cole Deaver. Laura Chung, unable to finish repairs on the car. They're going to see what they can get here under green, but they will likely be, if they cannot make minimum speed, they're likely going to see themselves black flagged to come back down pit road and finish fixing the damage. If they elect not to fix the damage and they still can't make minimum speed, they will likely be parked from the event. But we have lost half the field due to 4-wide turn 4 shenanigans. So your leader is now Colt Hudson with Trey Smith in second, Seth Cole third, Zach Flickinger fourth, Lane Sanders fifth, then Ricky Freeman Jr., Alexander Rowe, Nate Rogers, Andrew Rich, and Derek Hamo. So Seth Cole, Nate Rogers, they are the two at the top of the points with the best opportunity now to gain a ton on Samet Oskin. All they got to do is finish inside the top 5, top 3, win the race, and they will gain a ton on Oskin, who is going to finish in 30th. Trey Smith makes a move on Colt Hudson right off the green. Hudson continuing to fall now down to third as Lane Sanders has a huge run down the back straightaway along with Ricky Freeman Jr. Seth Coldo with enough momentum to stay in front of the 8 car for now. And we're starting to see the gap from performance here. It's looking like maybe Henry Sanford, Scott Roush, Fitzwater Sr., Enzo Nareza, and Laura Chung might not have enough pace to stay with the leaders. And that would leave us with just a 16-car field fighting for this race win with still 2/3 of the race left to go. Seeing now Corey Raymond struggling to keep touch with Logan York. Trey Smith is in the lead with Lane Sanders in second place. Then Ricky Freeman Jr., Derek Hamill, and Alex Ferranti. That is the top 5. Henry Sanford, Scott Roush, and Fitzwater have effectively lost the draft. Seeing Laura Chung and Enzo Nareza dangerously slow right now. The field only running about 41.8s to 42s. The leader's pace at the end of the straightaway is 226 miles an hour. Laura Chung is barely holding 200 around the entire track. That's likely going to get Chung shown a black flag. Laura Chung's team has repaired the car, and she is going to come out in front of the race-leading pack. Now, the officials are going to let this work itself out. Unfortunate that the leaders are going to catch here and likely going to see some drivers get blocked, but they want to see how much faster this 20 car could be. Already seeing a noticeable difference here, about 4 miles an hour up from before the rest of the damage was fixed. We'll have to see how Chung holds up here once the leaders catch. Trey Smith, Alexander Rowe going to be able to go by on the outside line. As Ferranti gets held up on the bottom, now Ferranti will go by on the inside. And look, just as they go to the inside, the huge acceleration difference. It's Chung currently in the middle line. Nate Rogers looking to maybe put her to the outside. Can't quite do it. Pack is single file. Ace Rogers had actually started to lose touch with the draft. We'll see if he loses touch again. But Seth Cole, Dennis Moore going to get held up here the most. As Seth goes to the inside of Chung, going to try to hold off Ace Rogers here, and Seth will do just that. So now we have to wait and see how Chung will hold once she has lost touch. You can see Corey Raymond here doing about 210 by himself. That is okay. Roush and Henry Sanford side by side are actually catching Raymond. Fitzwater's by himself. He's doing about 207 at the max. Now, Nareza, however, is concerning. He is down in the 46.2s, and his car is as fixed as it can be. We'll have to see here what is going to be the deal with Laura Chung. Once she has lost draft, you can see big ways back to Corey Raymond, so really going to be able to tell what the speed difference is. Officials are holding off on a call on Enzo Nareza, trying to see if they can see what Laura Chung's pace is. Chung is 2 laps down. So is this lap time going to be slower by Nareza? It's about the same, so Nareza has stabilized at 46.2s. The leaders are still running 4 seconds faster than that, and they just can't leave Nareza out here. They are going to have to park him. Halfway through the race, Alex Ferranti is the race leader. Should be closing in on some green flag pit stops here soon. I believe the field will still have to pit 2 more times here under green at that. And the leaders are about to catch Zachary Fitzwater Sr. There you can see him now. Is Ferranti going to be the leader held up once again? Does he go high? He's actually going to opt to stay low. Let's see if that allows him to pull out first. Yes, it does. It's actually going to get Zach Flickinger stuck a bit. Flickinger now going to go to the middle. That's going to put Fitzwater up top 3 wide, and Nate Rogers is going to be held up here. Now, last time they caught a lapper, Seth Cole, Andrew Rich, they both lost touch with the main group. I'll have to see if Nate can get draft quick enough to stay in touch. Otherwise, this is going to become an 11-car pack. A lot of drivers with a chance for their first career win today, including Ferranti, Dennis Moore, Logan York, Owen Miles, Trey Smith, Derek Hamill, Colt Hudson, Lane Sanders, Ricky Freeman Jr. I believe all of those drivers have yet to win a race. As you see them snaking off of turn 4 right now, it's Moore and Ferranti. Ferranti holding strong on the outside line. As eventually these drivers are also going to catch Corey Raymond, Henry Sanford, and Scott Roush, who have formed a mini pack of off-pace cars. Pit stops are underway here on lap 38. Staying out, Zach Flickinger, Logan York, Lane Sanders, and Trey Smith, along with Andrew Rich and the lapper of Fitzwater. York going to put a move on Flickinger here. We'll see how this pays off on getting them both to pit road. Flickinger is going to be forced to stay out here. Have to see. Hopefully he can make it back on fuel. Andrew Rich with a great pit entry is going to get up alongside Trey Smith. Passes Lane Sanders getting down the pit road. And now Zach Flickinger is going to lose a ton of time without draft. Hoping he can make it back on gas. It's always a tricky thing about Talladega and Daytona. So if you're on the outside coming to pit road, it's hard to get on to the pit lane. And it looks like Zach will be okay. But how much time he loses without draft will be the question mark. Now, one thing to make note of here, though, is that with coming to what'll be 27 to go, everyone still has to come back down one more time. So the longer you can stretch it here, the less fuel you're going to have to take on that final green flag pit stop, pending, of course, that this 20-car field keeps it green. We've got 25 laps to go here at Talladega. We've got an 8-car main pack consisting of Alex in the row, Dennis Moore, Derek Hamill, Zach Flickinger, Colt Hudson, Alex Ferranti, Ricky Freeman Jr., and Logan York. Just about 2 seconds behind them is Seth Cole, Owen Miles, and then Andrew Rich and Trey Smith. Lane Sanders has lost touch, and Nate Rogers has lost touch during the pit cycle. So out of this top 8, Alexander Rowe, 6 wins to his name, has yet to win in 2023. Dennis Moore has yet to win. Logan York yet to win. Truck Series champ in 2019. Derek Hamill has yet to win. Ricky Freeman Jr. in his rookie season yet to win. Colt Hudson, of course, yet to win. He's got the one Jerky Pro Truck Series win from a couple of years ago. Alex Ferranti, been around since 2018. He's looking for that first career win. And then, of course, Zach Flickinger, who has 3 career wins, one of them being here at Talladega. Now, Zach Flickinger won the first race here at Talladega in 2017. He did it in the number 3 for Richard Childress Racing. And Zach Flickinger has yet to win here again. So that's one of Zach's 3 career wins. Could it be his 4th career win, and could he become a 2-time winner at Talladega, much like Rob Evans? It would be quite the statistic. Rob Evans won here in his rookie season in fall of 2019, and then won in the follow-up race in the spring in 2020. On top of that, for Zach Flickinger won the first race here in 2017, which was technically his rookie season, and it would be kind of fitting for him to win what would be the 10th race here at this track 6 years later. But it looks like it's going to be tough for him to do so, because right now it does not look like he has the car to beat, unlike his teammate, rookie driver Ricky Freeman Jr. We've seen Dennis Moore lead this pack a lot today. We've seen Colt Hudson lead this pack a lot today. But one wild card that still remains is that all of these drivers still got to come back down pit road one more time. Coming to what'll be 17 laps to go, Dennis Moore is making a move on Ricky Freeman Jr. just up the road. Are several lap down cars, or about to be lap down cars, and it looks like it's going to start with Scott Roush, who has lost touch with Ace Rogers, Henry Sanford, and Corey Raymond. Ever since Roush, Raymond, and Sanford caught Ace, it looks like Roush's car is now not quite fast enough to keep up with them, as Ace Rogers is the one leading the wake and pulling them all along. Another thing to point out here in this pack is the manufacturers, as Derek Hamill has started to lose touch with them. You've got 2 Dodges, 3 Chevrolets, a single Toyota, and what could become just a single Ford if Hamill cannot stay drafted up with Alexander Rowe. They are catching Roush and the others, but it is a slow yet steady process, and it looks like they will catch Roush here in a moment, coming to what'll be 15 laps to go. Pack is side by side, maybe 3 wide, as Zach Flickinger looks to make a move on Hudson. Nowhere for that move to go due to no help. And Dennis Moore will be the one to drive by first and turn into a sitting duck. Colt Hudson will follow, as it looks like Scott Roush is going to hold up Derek Hamill and Logan York the most. As Moore becomes the sitting duck, Hudson's got to run, Ricky Freeman Jr.'s got to run. They are going to be 3 wide. And that's going to let Ricky Freeman Jr. take the top spot. Roush still in the way of Logan York. So he is actually keeping up with the leaders here. But it is holding up York. It is holding up Hamill. We'll have to see what this 3-car pack does. They are actually running only about 0.8 of a second slower than the leaders. So that's why it is taking a while for the lead pack to clear Scott Roush. 13 laps to go now. We are not going to go anywhere until this race is over. Alexander Rowe making a move for second place on Zach Flickinger and Alex Ferranti. Sends Ferranti up 3 wide out of the groove. Back in line goes to 48, as they have all cleared Scott Roush now. And Derek Hamill is trying to keep touch with the pack once again. Ricky Freeman Jr. has been getting draft from the 3 cars in front of him, And that has allowed him to maintain gap over team owner and teammate Zach Flickinger. But now where does Freeman go? He's going to go to the outside of these drivers. And Ace Rogers is actually going to put a move on Raymond. Nope, thinks better of it. Jumps back in line. Now what does Zach Flickinger and Dennis Moore do? Flickinger is going to go with his teammate and driver, Ricky Freeman Jr. But Moore's going to go to the inside. Now Zach Flickinger is going to ditch Ricky Freeman Jr. But there's nowhere for them to go with the lappers in front. Moore will take the lead, and Freeman will fall back by himself on the outside line. Now Dennis Moore, the first one to the inside of Ace Rogers, as Colt Hudson puts Alexander Rowe in the middle 3 wide. Ferrati up on the inside line as well on the bottom. Derek Hamill now trying to close back up. Freeman's going to go all the way to the bottom as Hudson puts another move on Dennis Moore for the race lead. And now they're going to catch the 9 of Nate Rogers, who is up to speed, but lost touch with everyone during the pit cycle. Freeman's going to make it 4 wide. No, he's pitting. Hudson and Ricky Freeman Jr. are going to pit here, coming to 10 to go. Derek Hamill slams the brakes for them, and Hamill's going to lose the lead draft as a result. That gives the lead to Dennis Moore. Moore with a huge run on Nate Rogers. He's going to go to Nate's outside, pass him, clear him. Ferrante looking to go to the inside of his teammate is allowed to do so. Now who's going to pit this time by? Coming to 9 to go. Moore will lead in Ferrante, York, and Alexander Rowe, the 4 of these 5 on the lead lap. Hamill will close up a good bit, but he's still got some distance. And that gives the race lead to Zach Flickinger. And Flickinger is the only one in this 4-car group right now that is on the lead lap. Now remember, Flickinger went the longest last time. Will he go the longest again? You see Colt Hudson come out behind him with Ricky Freeman Jr. in the distance. Now someone is pitting here. Ace Rogers is going high. Is it for the 96? No, it's for the 06 and the 82. So Zach Flickinger will continue to stay out and see how little fuel he can take. With 8 laps to go here at Talladega, it's turning into another fuel mileage race. And we have Logan York. There's Alex Ferrati. And then there's Dennis Moore. So Moore, Ferrati, and York are all in a line. As you see Colt Hudson back there. Looks like Hudson... I don't know if Hudson's going to catch York. Ferrati and Dennis Moore are practically gone now as Zach Flickinger will come to pit road. No one on the lead lap pit last time by. So right now the provisional leader is the 48, or I'm sorry, the 36 of Dennis Moore. And it's a 2-car pack with him and Alex Ferrati. Now Logan York is back there. If he can get in touch with someone here, he might be able to get some draft help, but so far nothing of the sort, as both Ferrati and Dennis Moore are going to pass Henry Sanford. York back there in the distance trying to get up here. I keep saying in the distance as if they're so far back. So let's see, the gap is 6.6 seconds. Zach Flickinger just came out of pit road. Oh, there's smoke, and the caution's out. And Scott Roush, I think, got turned coming out of pit road. Ace Rogers was in front of Zach Flickinger. He's going to get to stay on the lead lap because of this. And it looks like the lucky dog should be Henry Sanford. But we're going to have to check. Now, someone is being waited on here. They are waiting for someone back here. I'm not sure who it is. I'm not sure who the field's waiting on. We will get back to you guys on this one. Let's go take a look at the replay. I'll tell y'all what, accident was not what I thought it was at all. Seth Cole had a huge run on Scott Roush, and Spotter did not tell Roush about it. Roush turns down for turn one, and Seth Cole is there and gets Roush turned and dumped into the outside wall. And that is why we are under our third caution of the race. It is going to be a 3-lap shootout, everybody. Scott Roush has retired. The race leader coming to the restart here is Zach Flickinger. The odds of him winning this race are slim, considering the super speedway logic here of draft and moves and runs and everything of the like. Alex Ferranti is second. Dennis Moore is third. Logan York fourth. Colt Hudson is in fifth. Rowe, Hamill, Freeman, Rich, Trey Smith, the top 10, Miles, Seth Cole, Lane Sanders, Ace Rogers, Henry Sanford. All on the lead lap. 15 cars. Not all of them have a chance to win this thing, but there are 15 cars on the lead lap. The end of this 66-lap affair will be decided in a 3-lap shootout. Ferranti's going to go high on the green. Will that be the right move to make? Ace Rogers went low. I don't know if he cleared someone before the line, but if he did, it's going to be a black. Going to be a black flag for the 63 if so. We'll have to wait and see. Down the back straightaway, Ferranti now with his move to the outside is starting to get a run, but look at Colt Hudson and Derek Hamill on the inside line. Hamill's going to send Hudson up, going to make it 4 wide almost for third. Now he does. Logan York way out of line, all the way up against the outside wall as it's Zach Flickinger and Alex Ferranti. Even side by side off of turn 4. Advantage Alex Ferranti. And he clears Zach Flickinger at 2 to go. Can Ferranti hold on for finally? Could it finally be time for his first career win? He has got a head of steam under him here as they're 3 wide behind him. And tire wear has really kicked in. Everyone's been taking 2 tires all day. They took fuel only on that last pit stop. So the outside line is a great defensive line right now. But Ferranti may be with too much of a gap. Is he going to get caught here? Zach Flickinger tries to block teammate Ricky Freeman Jr. Can't do it. They're 3 wide behind them for second as Hudson has a huge run coming to the white flag. They're still 3 wide behind Alex Ferranti. Can anyone get a run on him? Freeman is clear in the middle. Ricky Freeman Jr. is looking low. He doesn't have the run, though. Can he get it here coming off of turn 4? He's getting close. He's getting close to Ferranti. Can he make the move? Coming into the tri-oval. No one's going to make the move. And finally, after 6 years, Alex Ferranti is a Digital Storm Cup Series winner. Six years in the making for Alex Ferranti. And it comes at Talladega. Prior to this win, 14 career top 5 finishes in 35 career top 10 finishes. For the driver of the Hendrick Motorsports number 48 Chevrolet, And it comes in a race where half the field was knocked out from several accidents. 67 one-thousandths of a second over Trey Smith, with Ricky Freeman Jr. third, Ace Rogers fourth, and Colt Hudson fifth. Biggest points gainer on the day, I believe, is going to go to Alexander Rowe in seventh. Nate Rogers pit there at the end. He comes home 17th. Short on gas was the number 9. Seth Cole getting 15th. So not a lot of points gained, but points gained nonetheless on Simon Oskin, who finished today in 30th. That is all from Talladega Superspeedway, and I'll see you guys for the International Tour. We're kicking it off in Dubai. Sure to be a fun one on the flat street course. So I'll see you all then over in the United Arab Emirates.